Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome into Let's Bet It. Lauren Javar here with Jared Smith. Lots to talk about, Jared. First of all, I want to tell you about a really exciting giveaway that Pickswise is doing. Can I share? Can I tell you?
Please do. It's Wednesday. I like to hear good things about your life and what's going on in the life of the Pickswise Nation.
It's hump day.
Woo!
Okay. I'm going to read this word for word. Pickswise is giving away $1,000 to
How
one
much?
lucky person. $1,000 to one lucky person with the Super Bowl props builder contest. So all you have to do, guys, is make your pick for the 6 props from the big game, including national anthem runtime, first team to score, etc. And if you guess correctly on all 6, you're entered in to win the cash prize. You just use the link in the description to sign up, win that money. Again, it's $1,000, and all you have to do, 6 props, bet them right.
$1,000.
A lot of that is luck on those props. So I'm feeling like you guys are pretty lucky today. Get in on it. Make sure to click the link. Fill out the props. It's that easy. That simple. It'll take you about 5 minutes.
Like a year's salary for me. $1,000.
Add another 0 at the end of that at least. Jeez. Don't sell yourself short, okay? And also exciting news. Guess who's going to the Super Bowl, baby?
What? No.
You are.
And me?
Yep.
Stop it.
Yep.
When did you hear about this news? Is this breaking news? Can we get a
I
breaking
don't even
news
know if I'm
finger?
necessarily going to the game yet, but I will be in LA partaking in all of the festivities. And it's my friend's 30th birthday that weekend too. So I'm very excited to head out there. I work a game on Friday night, fly out Saturday morning. You're flying out tomorrow and you're going to the game.
Yeah, so cat's out of the bag now. We are going to the Super Bowl. Breaking news. We leave tomorrow. It is going to be a Pickswise takeover of LA. We have so much fun stuff planned. I was looking through our content strategy, our crack producer, Jack Harrison, cooking up an amazing content plan for us. There's some fun stuff going on. Obviously, we're going to do the normal things. We're going to pick the game and the props, and we'll have some shows on. I think we're going to be actually live. I heard from the beach on Super Bowl Sunday. You and me, we've never done a show together in person. And that is going to change this weekend, which is awesome. But just overall, it's going to be an amazing week. This is like a bucket list thing for me. It hasn't sunk in yet. I've been so busy with all the other stuff going on this week, college basketball, hockey, all the other picks and articles and columns that we do. It'll sink in tomorrow when I get on the plane. I am so jacked up. It is going to be an amazing week. And we're going to kick ass out there. We're going to kick ass and take names. So
I'm so excited.
You and me.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Taking names, running the city of LA. Let's make it
happen. City of Angels, baby.
Go Bengals. Also, my sweatshirt. Can I go grab something really quick and show you?
Go grab your sweatshirt.
Okay.
I mean, I'm wearing a lame button down today. So we should put like elevator hold music on while Lauren goes.
Okay.
Your sweatshirt. I'm surprised you're not wearing it.
It came in. Well, I like my shirt better, but look at it. Came in.
You do look really. I like that outfit.
Isn't that great?
It's gonna be weird when you wear the glasses and the glasses are. It's like
Hold on. Let's set this up for a second. We'll just visualize. Does that look weird?
You look fly AF.
This is cool. I feel cool.
Yeah. Fly AF, yo.
It came in. I love it. Oops. I just knocked my
Be careful there. Don't spill anything.
It's okay. You know what? Jared, we're having a morning. It's Wednesday.
You are having a morning.
I'm just very
excited.
What?
We're gonna the next time that we see you on camera, you're gonna look a little bit more trimmed. A little more.
Yes, someone is chopping their hair today. And when I say chop, I mean like 5 inches.
That's a lot though. Are you giving it to Locks of Love?
No, you have to do 10. That would be like I'd be rocking the bomb bob at that point. It's just not a good look.
Yeah, you don't want to make that drastic of a change before the Super Bowl.
Like, I know, but I'm just cutting off some of the dead weight.
I bet it would look great.
Thanks. Like here. So we'll see. New haircut, new LJ tomorrow. We'll see how that looks. New sweatshirt.
Would you ever go blonde?
What?
Would you ever go blonde?
I don't think so.
No.
Brunettes are more fun, is what I've heard.
I can't. Yeah, that's BS. Everyone has fun. It's all about what's inside, not what's on the outside. I can see you as a blonde, but I can't. I think this is probably not the right time to do it.
Thank you.
It was a fun though. I could
Yeah,
totally.
maybe in the summer. We'll see.
Maybe not like
need
full
to
on, like
transition.
just a little highlights, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do some highlights. I will do some highlights next week. I'll lock it in. I'll make an appointment next week. It's gonna happen. So short hair Lauren tomorrow, somewhat blonde Lauren next week. We'll see how it goes. I don't even know if the chat likes that. I don't even have the chat pulled up. But anyways,
Someone said slay. So
let's get into some sports talk because that's what this show is. We got NHL Ice Picks today. We have Brian Scalabrine coming on, talk a little NBA. We have Jared's kick picks, college basketball predictions. We're hitting about everything today. And then we're even talking a little waste management, which is crazy that waste management is the same weekend as the Super Bowl. That's fun for everybody involved. I bet people that are in AZ are going to have a blast watching the Super Bowl and waste management at the same time. And then we can't end without our best bets of the day, Pickswise, 3-star play of the day. So let's get into it. NHL, take it to the ice, baby. We're day 3, back from All-Star break. I'll let you go first. Oh, your picks say tailing Lauren's picks. So
my picks are relying on your expertise. Can I just time out? Like, your hockey picks this year, the Ice Queen is reigning supreme. Last night, she hammers Vegas 3-way. It's 4-0 after like the second period.
Yeah.
And I text you. I'm like, what are you? Do you have like a DeLorean? Like, how are you? Every night with the Ice Picks, it's incredible. So, new strategy for Jared. Tail Lauren's picks, and my play of the day is going to be one of your picks. Your play of the day is going to be the other pick. So please enlighten me.
Then do we even talk about hockey right now, or do we say
talk about it?
Talk about hockey.
Talk about it. We have a lot going on in this show. By the time we get to plays of the day, people are going to be so overloaded with so much knowledge. They're going to have to be reminded about the hockey picks.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'm on 2 games today. First of all, the Preds taking on the Stars in Dallas. I have the Stars 3-way money line at plus 130. It's the first game for both teams in 8 days. The Stars have had a really bad recent record, though, against the Preds. They've lost to Nashville in 6 of their last 7 meetings. Not tonight, my friends. Not this game. Not tonight, as Herb Brooks would say. Herb Brooks. Herb.
We are going to Cali, but
as Herb Brooks
under wraps.
The Stars have dropped 3 of their last 4 road games, but they have been so good on home ice this season. They're 8th in the league, 15-6-1 at home. They've won 5 of their last 7 home games, and their winning percentage is over 600 at home. Also, I love my stats following a break. They're 40. Yeah. I had a deep dive for this one. They're 46-19 following a break of at least 3 days. 46-19. So that's pretty good for them. The Preds have lost 6 of their last 7 Wednesday games. I don't know if that's correlated to Wednesday, but we're going with it, baby. They won
on
one
Wednesdays. We wear pink. And we bet on the Stars.
Yep. They've only won one of their last 4 road games. Jay Gottinger for the Stars has gone 11-5, 2.53 goals against average, 850 save percentage. And Braden Holtby day-to-day with the lower body injury. So I think it's going to be Ottinger between the pipes. I just think they're going to have their way at home in front of a home crowd. They're going to use the momentum. They're going to be good after coming off of rest. So I feel good about the Stars. Stars. If you ever go to the game, that's what they chant like in the middle of the game. They're like, Stars. And it kind of reminds me of like a really...
They couldn't come up with a better saying than just chanting their team name?
Stars. That's what it sounds like in that deep Stars.
Weird.
It's kind of intimidating actually. And then the other game I'm on, I'm taking it up to Edmonton. They're taking on the Blackhawks. I like the Oilers 3-way money line, minus 115. The Blackhawks 3-game losing streak. Oilers second half of a back-to-back. They got crushed by Vegas last night, 4-0. Tired legs. I think they're going to want to bounce back at home. I think this is more of a mentality game for me. The Oilers, they're dealing with six-ish different injured players. A couple guys are on the fence about tonight. But Leon Draisaitl is an absolute star. He's had 63 points, recorded 4 points in his last 3 games. Stuart Skinner is going to get the start in net most likely. On the season, he's 5-6, 2.85 goals against average, 908 save percentage. As a team, though, they have allowed 138 goals. That's only 21st in the league. If they can improve their defense, their team can be scary good. And I think they're going to put in that effort on the defensive side tonight. The Oilers can also take advantage on the power play. Right now, they're scoring on about 30% of their power play chances, which is really, really good. It's above average. In Edmonton, before last night, averaged 4.7 goals in their last 3 games before last night. So the home team has also won in the last 4 games between these two teams. So I like Edmonton in this spot, coming off of a tough loss last night. Yeah, they're going to have tired legs. Mentality is going to be strong. They're going to want to come out, play a strong defensive game, take advantage of the Blackhawks. Oilers, 3-way money line at -115.
I like the Oilers a lot. And tired legs, they just had 4 days off. So I think they'll be less tired than they normally would be after a back-to-back. And from what I have noticed, and it's only been a couple days back, the first game back after the break, teams tend to come out a little sluggish. I could see the Oilers in the first period tonight coming out really strong, getting a goal or two early, and then maybe coasting late. That would be an interesting angle. But I really like the Oilers tonight. You could tell I did see some highlights from that game last night because I was watching to support your pick on Vegas. That the Oilers were going through the motions a little bit. So I think they'll play a lot stronger tonight.
I think it is one of those things too. And we're going to bring in Brian Scalabrine in 1 second. I actually want to ask him about this. When if I don't work out for like a week or 2 weeks and then you do that first workout, you feel like death. But then the next day you're like, I can move mountains right now. You know what I mean? Okay, I want to ask Brian this. So let's bring in Brian Scalabrine. We're talking a lot of NBA today, especially with the trade deadline looming. It's tomorrow. A lot of big trades have already been made. But Scal, I want to start this off. Like coming off of a break, an all-star break, et cetera, when you were playing, like how difficult is that to not only physically get back into it, but like mentally get back into it after you have like 5 days to a week off?
You know, when during all-star break, if I took 1 or 2 days off to travel to a location just to get a break, like I'm getting something in when I'm there because of You're right. You talked about like that first workout when your lungs feel like they're bleeding and all that stuff. You don't want that feeling. So I think the biggest thing is, you just train differently. So you're like, let's say I'm on the beach, I'm doing beach workouts versus on court, which are completely different. But I think it's like your skills go away. And I think that lasts for like about a half, maybe 3/4, and then you start getting it back. But as far as like the fitness thing, I think the guys and you were talking about hockey, but most guys in basketball now, it's a culture to stay on top of it when you're taking some time off, unless you're injured. Yeah. Which if guys aren't, then they should be, running the beach, doing workouts, like, getting on the bike. Most guys do something on the break.
Yeah, keep the body moving. A lot of big moves have been happening, including. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with the Trailblazers. I guess their decision to trade C.J. McCollum, Norman Powell, Robert Covington, to be more flexible when it comes to building around Dame. Like, what do you think about that trade that the Trailblazers made?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if they get a guy this summer. Like they're banking on having that $30 million of cap space this summer, and Dame Lillard, taking a guy, bringing him in, and saying like, let's build this thing together. But I'm not optimistic that that's going to happen. I don't think anybody's going to be flocking to Portland. I don't think it's a free agent destination. This is not a great free agent class. So, I probably disagree with it. But here's the deal. I think the sidebar here is I think that Damian Lillard wants to eventually run this team. And I think he's looking at it like right now as like a trial run. And don't be surprised if his agent, Aaron Goodwin, or the Goodwin brothers, end up taking over and running from a presidential position. You've seen that in the NBA in the past, whether it's Leon Rose, Bob Myers, different agents have now, kind of transferred over and starting running teams. So I would not be surprised if somewhere down the road, the Goodwin brothers are the president of the Portland Trailblazers, and they're going to be paying Damian Lillard $50 million. For all things like to rebuild, it's the wrong thing to do, but sometimes people get nostalgic about this and want to make this thing about Damian Lillard and keep this thing going.
Yeah, it's the Leon Rose effect, right? I mean, the Knicks doing it kind of right now, and the Knicks can be the next topic of conversation, considering they've got an interesting situation with Julius Randle, who it just seems like he's kind of fallen off a cliff. Maybe the numbers last year were the aberration, and that was the big bounce, and now we've seen the regression back to the mean. What should the Knicks do with Julius Randle, and how does a team in their position kind of move forward from what's been an awful half of the year?
So I think it's a big swing. I'm not sure people would agree with this, and I'm not sure the Lakers would be interested. But I don't know if you watched Westbrook got benched last night.
Yeah,
I would if I was the Knicks, and I'm saying if I was the Knicks, I would trade for Russell Westbrook. I crunched some numbers. You can do Westbrook and Talon Horton Tucker. He's young, he's athletic, he's long, he's big, right? You can go Julius Randle, Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier. You can get those guys, bring in Westbrook, and I would play like this up-tempo style, get more time for Obi Toppin, who loves to run the floor. Defense isn't very good, but, like Westbrook had success in Washington last year, pushing the basketball. He likes to be the guy. He's never going to be the guy in LA. He's been a disaster there. So I would make that swap and just look at it like this. 2 years from now, the Knicks would have $0 on the books. And I know they're going to extend rookies and quickly and all that stuff. They'll end up signing those guys and offering those guys contracts. I get all that. But the Knicks would have some flexibility next year, and they have like this young group like RJ Barrett. So personally, what I would do is
really impressed me.
I think that the Julius Randle Nick thing is already expired. I think they need to sort of move on from that. And I'm not saying like Westbrook is the answer to fix your problems now or next year, but I do think you can head in like a certain direction with Westbrook, who's going to opt into his $47 million contract.
You think?
Yeah. A game that you're on tonight, the Cavs taking on San Antonio, and they just made a big move the big trade with the Pacers. They got Karis LeVert in exchange for Ricky Rubio. How does Karis LeVert help a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers?
They have great defense. They need scoring. And if Karis LeVert is healthy, he's a big-time isolation scorer. So there are times like when offense doesn't work and you need to – and Darius Garland can do it. Like he can get to the paint. He can make a basketball play. But Karis LeVert can get you a bucket, and he could score in that mid-paint area, which means you open up opportunities for offensive rebounds for Mobley or Jared Allen. It's a great trade for Cleveland if Karis LeVert can stay healthy. And he had the thing with the kidney, and it was like a cancerous tumor that I guess that's all good now. He's had some injuries in the past, but if he stays healthy, he's a big time player. So I like Cleveland making that move. They gave up Rubio, who's not really going to play this year. So I like the move, but the main thing is Karis LeVert has to be healthy, and Cleveland is legit. And that's why I like them today. I like them over San Antonio. I think they're going to defend the paint. San Antonio sort of lives by that mid-range. So they have a defense that's conducive to beating the Spurs. And I think Cleveland's going to continue to rise in the standing, especially with their schedule, which is a little bit easier throughout this year.
I got a matchup question for you there, because I did see a couple of assist and rebound props with Jakob Poeltl tonight, and that's a tough matchup for him against Jared Allen. I would, based off of your initial handicap, the assist prop at 2.5 for Poeltl might be interesting, because if they're going to crash in the paint, kick out, and then those San Antonio shooters are going to have to take it home. Rebounds, probably tough matchup for him going up against Jared Allen, right?
What was the rebound number?
9.5. So he has to get to double digits.
You like the under on both of those, huh?
I would say over on assists, under on rebounds, based off of your handicap of them crashing in the paint, defending the paint really hard, and having to kick out, for some of those shooters. Very good. Yeah. I mean, the shots that's going to be available for Cleveland, like what you're saying, is that Jakob Poeltl in that short roll kicking weak side, that will be available. Also, like pull-up jumpers and stuff like that. So I like both those. The 9.5, I don't love that. I don't hate it either. I think the number will be right around there, but because Allen, the way to go. Yeah. You're getting plus 130 to the over on 2.5 assists. That's three. I mean, three assists is a win, and that's 3 kickouts and 3 buckets. Well, it's more like 7 kickouts, and they got to make 3 of them. That's you got to. So no, I like that. You're saying I like the way that you're looking at it. Yeah. The San Antonio Spurs are going to realize we're not going to be able to score in the paint. The shots that's going to be available is the extra pass. Today would be an extra pass game for San Antonio. So I like what you're thinking on that. Nice. Okay, couple questions for you, because I looked at the Celtics Nets score last night towards the beginning of the game, and it was 28-2. Yeah. What in the world? I have never seen anything like that. Can you just walk me through the beginning of that game? Because I was obviously working the Hawks game last night, so I was just checking the score and not watching. Yeah. The Celtics have been dominant. Besides the Atlanta game, they've been dominant in the first quarter. The starting group net rating over the last 6, 33. I was lucky. I've been riding this. I've been riding Celtics in the first quarter, and I just,
I've been losing other ones, but it's almost been like a stamp. And like Vegas is starting to pick up on it. And they're starting. It was a half, and then it was 1.5, and it's 2.5, and 3.5. And the other night it's 5.5 in Orlando, and they just keep having these great starts. Like a net rating of 33 in the first quarter is unheard of in the NBA, where most people are just kind of feeling out the game. So it was one of those things. Like that team in Brooklyn, they weren't very good. All the guys being out, and the Celtics, they're really taking on this personality of like, if we're playing the bad teams, let's not let them come back like we've had in the past. Let's play 27 minutes. Let's dominate. Let's sit out the fourth quarter and get ready for the next one. So I've been loving the Celtics in the first, and when they're playing inferior opponents, they have been taking care of business, which they weren't doing that at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, I looked at that score though. I was like 28-2. I'm like,
yeah,
like, is this real? I was like, I looked over at Dominique Wilkins and we're like, what the heck is going on in that game in New York?
Dominique could have scored on the Nets last night, probably.
The Nets, it's amazing. Like, just to give us an appreciation of how good Kevin Durant is.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant plays in that game. Like, that's a close game. Yeah. And at that point, they were scheduled to lose like 250-5, or 250-8. So like, it just gives you an appreciation for how much, like, Kevin Durant is so much more than just a scorer. He makes everyone around him better.
And that brings me to a question about James Harden, because obviously his name's been flying around and possibly some trade rumors. Who knows if it's just the media? Who knows if, he actually wants out and he wants to be traded? Between him and Ben Simmons, I feel like they're two big talking points right now. We have about the trade deadline closes tomorrow at like 5 p.m. Is it what it is?
3 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern.
So we have about like 26 hours, 27 hours until then. Thank you. I was like trying to like reverse in my head. We have about 27 hours until then. Do you think that we will see a trade take place with Ben Simmons and or James Harden, not with each other, just in general?
You mean Harden, yes, Ben Simmons, yes?
Yes. Yeah, like two separate.
So here's what I'm hearing. It's all about Tyrese Maxey. And if I was Brooklyn Nets, I would draw a hard line and say, like, Brooklyn would be, I don't care what Kevin Durant says. I'll convince Kevin Durant later. If I can get Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey and for Brooklyn, that is a perfect fit. You couldn't get a better two guys that would fit on their team. Like you got to beat Milwaukee. And let me just like throw some things out there, right? Kevin Durant cannot guard Giannis any point in the series because it will wear him out. Kyrie Irving does not want to be in like any type of sparring match with Drew Holiday. He's going to lose that. So you bring in Tyrese Maxey to go out there and guard a guy like Drew Holiday. You bring in Ben Simmons to go out and take some possessions off of Giannis. You look to get more physical. If the Nets pass up on that, I think that they all should be fired. I don't think that they're passing up on that. I think it's all in Philly's court. And I think Philly is saying, can we get rid of Simmons without giving up Maxey? Because they're not stupid. They know that if you send Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey and you combine that with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, that team is going to be really good. It's going to be hard to beat. They're better than what they are currently right now, which is kind of a disaster. Even though the Brooklyn Nets are sitting there saying, well, what are you going to do with Ben Simmons? You might not get James Harden this offseason. So but also what I'm hearing is none of them talk to each other. They're all running through Rich Paul. And Rich Paul is like, why don't you guys just call? Like, it's one of those things where, like, stop calling me. Just call them, And so Rich Paul should tell them, all right, if I was Rich Paul, I'd be like, here's the contact number for Daryl Morey, and here's the contact number for y'all hook up, Or, you do the text message. Hey, Daryl, meet Sean. Sean, meet Daryl. Y'all can handle it from here.
Connecting the two of you. Just connecting you guys. Like.
I'm out.
The Pacers and the Kings pulled off a very interesting trade the other day, too. And Sabonis has been such a great player. So is Halliburton. And, those two guys kind of trade places now. And I think the trajectories of their careers might be a little bit different. What's your take on that Pacers-Kings move the other day?
Yeah, so a lot of people are down on Sacramento for giving up on Halliburton. That team is not very good. They want to do something, right? So Sabonis makes you a great regular season team. No question. I think Sabonis with his skill set can get you into the playoffs. And I think that's what the Sacramento Kings want to do. I don't think they were going to make the playoffs with Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox. And I know from the Pacers standpoint, like like Halliburton to me is like a phenomenal third best player. Like we were just talking about Tyrese Maxey. Like he could be better than Tyrese Maxey. So I think it kind of works for both teams. And Sacramento is clearly trying to go for it. And, by getting Sabonis, Sabonis is one of those guys that just make people around him 5% better, which in the NBA, it's actually a big deal.
Yeah.
Guys getting wide open shots, guys coming off dribble handoffs, turning the corner, getting into the lane. So I think it works for both teams, but Indiana now has to reload with some guys that will fit with Tyrese Halliburton. Like he can't be your number one guy.
Yeah. The Hornets taking on the Bulls tonight. You like the Hornets in this spot, right? The Bulls currently sitting at 3rd, Hornets at 9th in the East.
Yeah, Hornets are a better team, and they keep losing these games. So I kind of feel like they're going to figure this thing out today. The Bulls have had a couple of tough games, even though they've lost 2 games in a row, but they just had a tough battle against Phoenix. So I just feel like the Hornets, who have been in kind of a free fall, need to shake out the rust. And this is a game where, like, you're looking at a signature win. They're going to play with an incredible amounts of energy. So I like the Hornets today. And the way I had it was they were getting 3, right? You guys have the same number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting right 2.5, 3. Yeah, right in that area.
Yeah. I like, and even if not, I do expect it to be a close game. I don't see them getting blown out. So I really feel like the Hornets are going to like kind of get this ship going in the right direction, because if you look around, you got the Celtics playing good, Atlanta's playing good, you got Toronto playing good. I know Brooklyn's not playing well. They're in that same group, but man, they're going to get Kevin Durant and whatever happens with his trade deadline. So this is like a sense of urgency that Charlotte needs to have today, and I think they'll have it.
Mm-hmm. One last one, game of the night, Warriors Jazz. This could be a West Final preview. I was looking at the Curry assist prop at 6.5 plus money to the over. He's hit that in 4 straight. And I think you would think that the defense for Utah, which is very strong, would try to get the ball out of his hands. Only 1 for 13 from 3 the last time these 2 teams faced each other. And that was at home. What's your vibe on this game tonight? This is one of those matchups that we could be talking about in June.
If I don't know if you have this prop, I wouldn't play the 6.5 with Utah, because the way they guard, right? They force you into Gobert and they hug up on the 3-point shooters. They're like one of those differential teams, right? Where they give up the least amount of threes and make the most amount of threes. So like there'll be a lot of pull-up jumpers for Curry today. So if there was an under 3-point prop, you could take that. Or if there was an assist prop, I would go on the under on that with Curry today, because it's Utah is just really unique like that. Like if Curry can live in the mid-range all night long. He can come off and shoot 17 footers, 18 footers all night, and Utah won't guard that. But they don't want him getting to the basket, and they don't want him pulling up from 3.
4.5 is his 3-point makes tonight. Heavy juice to the under, so they are looking at the under as the
I would take the under. Like Utah they just don't give up a lot of threes.
Yeah. Scal, we so appreciate it. I would say I'd see a Sunday, but it's a TNT game, so not traveling for this one. But
I'm not even there either.
Yeah, I'll see you. I don't remember the next time, but I'll be on that next trip to Boston, so I'll see you that next time. But I'm sure we'll talk to you before then. So thank you so much. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy
any Super Bowl picks, Scal? Who do you like on Sunday?
My son, I revert to him on all football. He loves. Is it Jamar Chase? Tamar Chase? Jamar Chase. He loves them. He's doing the gritty everywhere down the hall. He's doing the gritty dance. Yeah, like this thing right there. Like, what are you doing? This is the gritty, Dad. So I guess he's good. I guess that dance is good, and I guess that's a thing. So I guess I'll go for them.
I want to see you do the gritty, Scal.
I don't know the gritty. I don't know what it is. I look like he's hurt his back.
Man, my back hurts after doing the gritty. Oh.
Oh my God.
I guess Bengals. I guess
there you go.
Based off my 8-year-old Bengals.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, we'll let you go practice your gritty so you can do it.
You got it. I'll bring it out next week.
Yeah. Bye, Scal. Have a good week.
Right.
Thanks so much.
See you.
Oh man. All right, let's take it from men to boys. Take it into some college basketball.
We're gonna do the gritty out in Cali. You and me on the beach.
No, like the most uncoordinated 2 people you'll ever see. I don't think.
Look at me. Do I look like I have dance moves? Like, just look at me. Come on.
No.
None. Zero.
No
But we're going to do it anyways.
No chance. Oh, God. God bless. Okay, so let's talk about Houston at SMU because Houston's
Great
number
game.
6. They're the best team right now in the AAC. They've won 12 consecutive games overall. Kyler Edwards, averaging around 14 points per game, takes a ton of threes. Fabian White Jr. scored over 20 points in his last 2 games. Cougars ranked 4th in all of D1 KenPom ratings, remains in the 6th spot in the AP poll this week. They're averaging 76.9 points on the season, and they're limiting opponents to 56.6 points per game. You're going to win a lot of games when you're doing that. You look at SMU, the second best team right now in the AAC. They've won 5 of their last 6, only 2 conference defeats in 9 games. SMU is efficient offensively. They're averaging 110.7 points per 100 possessions. It's just hard for me to fade Houston in this spot, right? I don't know. I haven't bet this game yet, but like I was leading SMU and then I'm like, but it's Houston and it's hard to fade Houston.
So Houston is one of 6 teams that is top 20, 8 teams that is top 20 in offensive and defensive efficiency.
Yeah.
That is to me I don't know if are you familiar with Marvel, Thanos, Avengers, Infinity War? No.
Of course.
Yes?
Of course.
So,
I love
okay,
Marvel movies.
That's amazing. Me too. That's awesome.
Watch them all in order.
Balance, like Thanos, like every universe.
Oh my gosh, what is going on with my computer right now? Sorry.
What's going on over there, Lauren? You're just so excited about Marvel's Infinity War and Avengers. Your computer just reacted to it. Balance. That is what Houston is. Houston is like a talented yoga instructor, perfectly balanced. You like that one?
Yes. Keep going.
The amount of times that I've gotten you to cringe during one of my dad jokes, I could retire if I had a nickel for every time. I've done that in 6 months.
Yeah, it's okay.
It is. I'm literally a dad with that, and I have no children. So the slides move from 6.5 to 7.5. Obviously, the action should favor Houston. They're a deserving favorite. I think we're going to be talking about Kelvin Sampson and this team deep into March. This is a second weekend team, maybe a third weekend team. And when you look at SMU coming off that loss to Wichita on the road, tough game in a very unique environment for them. Again, they play in the American Athletic Conference, so they have to travel around the entire country. That's the whole name of the conference, right? Now they're going to Houston, and a little bit of an easier trip from Dallas, which is where SMU is. But I think this is a game that obviously SMU has circled on their calendars. Chim Jankovic actually done a nice job with this Mustangs team this year. 16-5. They're a top 50 offensive efficiency team. They were on a 5-game winning streak until that game against Wichita State. But that was kind of a look-ahead spot for this game tonight. I think SMU will be up for this game. I think this is a good layoff because I don't think laying 7 in the top tier conference game, which is – these are 2 of the best teams, if not the 2 best teams in the conference. I would be a little weary to lay that many points. But I do think Houston wins this game. And I think Houston is a team that we're going to be talking about come March.
Yeah, Houston is a fun team to watch. They're fun in football. They're fun in basketball. Good for them. They're a good sports school right now. I'm loving watching them. Another game that you're on, Robert Morris taking on U of D Mercy, my hometown.
Yeah. Shout out to another very smart Lauren. She works for Book It. Lauren Cowling turned me on to this game tonight with Robert Morris. Great name, right? She's a really smart college basketball. She's like me. She likes to go diving in the dumpster for some of these random teams. So Robert Morris catching 2 and a hook. They're coming off a win. The Colonials coming off a win over IUPUI, which is the worst team in college basketball. Yeah, they are ooey pooey, all right. And Mercy's off a big win over Northern Kentucky, who's been this quiet, good team in the horizon too. So the one thing that scares me though for Mercy, 3rd straight road game. And they rely very heavily on the 3-point shot. Their distribution's 47.5%. So that means almost half of their points come from the 3-point line. And they made a bunch of them, 12 out of 31 against Northern Kentucky. Yet now I think you're going to see a little bit of regression here. And you would think no regression because Robert Morris is 320th in 3-point defense. But in their last 2 games at home, only 2 for 22 opponent 3-point makes from the line, from the 3-point line. And against Ooey Pooey, they only gave up 4 out of 14. So even though Robert Morris's defensive numbers against the 3 are poor, they're starting to trend up in that direction, especially at home. This is a really nifty home dog spot for Robert Morris.
Yeah.
With Mercy coming off that big win, little bit of a letdown. And I think Robert Morris is going to win outright, but I'm going to take 2.5 points. I think that's a nice way to play it with Robert Morris tonight.
Can I tell you a fun fact about the Horizon League?
I would love to hear your fun facts.
It's not even like that fun of a fact, but my first ever sideline job was with Oakland University men's basketball, Golden Grizzlies, for ESPN3. That was my first ever sideline job working the Horizon League.
Love that. Oakland's had a really good program over the years.
Yeah, they have. And so that got me into the industry. That and then working for the Detroit Pistons G League team at the time, which was
the drive.
Yeah, now they're the gold for the Nuggets, but at the time, I worked their inaugural season as their in-arena host my senior year of college, and I would drive. There would be a Wednesday night game, and I would have my classes that day, and I would drive 2.5 hours to Grand Rapids from Ann Arbor, do the in-arena hosting. My dad would go to my dad has an office in Kalamazoo, and he would plan his meetings on the west side of the state when they had games. And then we would stay at a hotel there, and then I would drive back in the morning. And so we would always grab dinner after the games. So that and the Horizon League, my first 2 jobs in the industry. Pretty fun.
The Horizon League's a good league. There's some decent teams in the Horizon League.
Yeah. And it was fun.
We're going to be betting a lot. Honestly, that's my favorite part about college basketball is there's little pockets of these conferences all over the country, and each one has their own character and their own personality to them. The Horizon League's a tough league, gritty league, Midwest, bunch of schools that are
super fun to cover.
Solid talent. A lot of good basketball in the Midwest. Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, a lot of good mid-major teams in that part of the country.
Yeah, it was fun. And it's, it's where you get your start. You kind of look back and reflect sometimes. Yeah. So I saw that. I was like, yes, let's go, Jared. Let's go. Horizon League, baby. Loyola Chicago taking on Bradley tonight, too. You're on that one.
Yeah, speaking of really good mid-major teams in the Midwest, I would say Loyola Chicago is maybe the premier mid-major team in the Midwest right now. They are a tremendous squad. They're 18-4 this year. Drew Valentine has done a nice job in his first year filling in for Porter Moser. Of course, Moser's moved on to bigger and better. But this is a Loyola team that's top 50 offensive and defensive efficiency. We gave him out Sunday on the money line at Missouri State. They won by 9. They've put together a really nice conference season, 9-2, in what is a very tough Mo-Val. The Missouri Valley Conference is a very, very challenging conference. Northern Iowa, Bradley, one of those teams, Missouri State, Drake. There's some really good teams in this conference. Tonight, they're at Bradley. And listen, when you look at this Bradley team, the one thing I noticed when I was going through their numbers is when they manage up, when they have to go and face Northern Iowa like they did a few nights ago, they struggle. They can beat teams like Valpo and Evansville. They're coming off a huge win over Evansville by 35. But when you look at the teams that they face when they move up in competition, and Loyola is the best team in the Missouri Valley Conference right now, they struggle. And it's because they rely a lot on their three-point shot. And they made 12 out of 24 in their last game against Bradley. Well, to me, what does Northern or Loyola Chicago do better than anybody? They defend and they take you out of your offense. So I think turnovers and three-point shooting is going to be a struggle for Bradley tonight. And I like that we're getting a big discount on this line. So Loyola won the first game at home between these two teams way earlier in the year, back on January 8th, so about a month ago. They won by 7 in overtime. They didn't cover the line, 13.5. Well, now we're getting a 9-point discount on that line. The home splits, maybe it's because Bradley's been playing slightly better. Again, they've won 5 of 6, but when they manage up against those better teams, that's when they struggle. So I like the fact that this is only a 4.5-point spread, and I think Loyola Chicago is going to win this game. Maybe they don't cover. I think they will, but I definitely think Loyola is a solid play tonight, laying 4.5 at Bradley.
I like it. I'm a big fan. Okay, Waste Management. Ever heard of it? Actually, no. Sorry, I forgot your kick picks. I can't skip the kick picks.
Oh, kick picks.
Take it across the pond, Jared, to the EPL. You have quite a few bets tonight. I'm looking at our Google sheet.
I know. Yesterday was really good. We went 2-0. We made almost 2.5 units, so I'm going to put that to the test today. Yeah. Palace at Norwich. So we're going to go over 2.5, both teams to score. Norwich is trending up. 3 straight games with a goal. They beat Wolves in the FA Cup over the weekend. Prior to that, wins over Watford and Everton, combined goal line of 5-1. Norwich playing, they are a bottom table team, but they're playing a lot better. Palace, I think, is going to control the midfield here. Conor Gallagher has 7 goals, and up front, Otsun Edouard is their stud. A goal and 2 assists the last time these two teams played. It was a 3-0 win for Palace. I think this one's 2-1, 2-2. I think Norwich gets a goal. I think maybe they score twice. Palace should control the midfield. They should score at least a goal, if not 2. So we're going over 2.5, both teams to score, plus 160. Very nice price there. How about Leeds at Villa? Great. Tremendous match at Villa Park tonight. So Villa actually has the fewest draws in the Premier League. They're a win or loss team, which is good because we don't want to draw here.
Ain't nobody got time for draws.
No, we don't like draws. Villa, unless we're betting it. Villa on the money line, parlayed with over 1.5, is plus 115. So 13 of Villa's matches this year have gone over 2.5. Leeds, 12 of them. And I think Villa's going to win this match because Leeds is without their best scorer, Patrick Bamford, who is not playing tonight. And the reason that I'm not just going to bet Villa money line or Villa team total over 1.5, that Villa team total is minus 135 for them to score twice. If they score twice, they are winning this match. So I'm just going to parlay Villa money line with the game over 1.5. And it's plus 115. I'm getting 30, 40 cents more value there to make that same game parlay. So that's our second pick. Third pick is a parlay of the other 2 matches. Tottenham on the money line. Spurs are tremendous. Teams below them in the standings, when they face crappy teams, they're facing Southampton tonight, a crappy bottom table team, 10-1-2, 6-0 at home. They beat the teams that are below them in the standings. And Brentford is at Man City. We're going over 2.5 there. Again, this is a parlay. Tottenham money line, Brentford, Man City, over 2.5. I think Brentford is dreadful. I think Man City might score 2 or 3 goals in the first half here. And I think over 2.5 for the game. City is the best team in the Premier League. And I think they're going to put up a big number on Brentford today. So 3 kick picks, a lot of permutations and parlays, but have fun. Good luck. Hopefully we go 3-0 like we did yesterday.
Send it across the seas to the EPL. I really like it. Okay. Plays of the day. Pickswise.com. 3-star. Sentence. Words. Who we got?
Spurs, Southampton, over 2.5. More kick picks. James Milton.
That's a 3-star?
Actually, he has 2 3-star kick picks. One of them goes tomorrow. There are no 3 stars on the site for American sports today.
Okay. So head on over to Pickswise.com. Get into some EPL. You can join us on the Kicks Picks. Jared,
it's a kick picks day.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. Before we get into our best bets of the day, there's this little thing this weekend called waste management. Don't know if you've ever heard of it or heard. Great little tournament going on in Arizona. Yeah, great little tournament going on in Arizona. The people are going to have a lot of fun there who are watching the Super Bowl. Who are your waste management picks, or do you have just one?
I have 3 matchups. Mr. Jabbar, listen to this one. He was very fond of it.
My dad loves golf picks. Last weekend you were on fire, Jared.
But here's the thing. I gave out 4 golf picks last week. I went 2-2, but we talked about Spieth and Hoagie, and your dad must have just absorbed those 2 guys.
You bet them.
And those 2 guys finished 1-2. I actually think Spieth is an intriguing play this week against Matsuyama in a matchup because Matsuyama is getting all the money. He actually won here recently, Matsuyama, and Spieth is Spieth loves this course.
Yeah.
He's like a top 10 machine at this course, but the matchup is against Decky, who's like the best golfer on the planet right now, coming off the Masters win. He's been incredible so far in the early stage of the season. And you're getting a really juicy, like plus 130 on Spieth. I didn't bet that because I'm afraid to fade Decky, but you could do worse than betting Spieth plus 130 in a matchup against Decky this week. The matchups that I am on, Victor Hovland over Patrick Cantlay at plus 115. I think Hovland is very firm for this course. And Cantlay's had so Hovland hasn't played in a few weeks, and Cantlay's been playing a bunch in the early part of the season. And I don't know, something about Cantlay with the big crowds, I think he might not respond well to it this week. Max Homa, who I think is built for this course, over Denny McCarthy, that's minus 110 on DraftKings. And then another one I like, I'm fading Brooks Koepka this week, even though he's the defending champion. That sounds crazy, right? But
Mhm.
he has been the metrics on Koepka have been really bad. I think he's not fully healthy, and I don't think this is a tournament that he is. Even though he's the defending champion, I just don't see him really getting up for this one.
Yeah.
And now, to me, he's built for this course. Hits it long, straight as an arrow, and minus 110 for Finau over Koepka. And I think the physicality with Koepka, how's the knee? Is he mentally up for this? Does he care? He's the defending champ. Everyone's going to be talking about him this week. So those are the three matchups I've got. Hovland over Cantlay, Homa over McCarthy, Finau over Koepka.
I like it. Okay, I'm getting into my best bet of the day, which I talked about a little bit earlier. Preds taking on the Stars. Stars 3-way money line at plus 130 in Dallas. Stars. That's what they say during all their games.
Weird.
I'm telling you. Have you ever been to a Dallas Stars game?
I have not.
Okay.
Sounds fun, though.
Yeah, it is fun. It's good. It's kind of like a rock star vibe.
I like hockey vibe. To me, hockey games, I feel at home with the crowds. I do.
Yeah, totally.
It's like,
just like very chill, like
very culture.
Yeah.
Closest thing we have to the EPL.
Yeah, it's because I feel like hockey is such a niche sport that the fans that are there are not just there to like be there; they're there to like support their team. So interesting about hockey. The Stars have had a really bad record against the Preds. Like I was saying, they lost to Nashville in 6 of their last 7 meetings. But I think Dallas is going to come back and recover from that. They've dropped 3 of their last 4 road games, really good on home ice, 8th in the league, 15-6-1 at home. And they've won 5 of their last 7 home games. They're also 46-19 following a break of at least 3 days. And the Preds have lost 6 of their last 7 Wednesday games, which is a very important fact, Jared. Very important fact. Losing all of the Wednesday games. And they've only won 1 of their last 4 road games. So the Stars are going to have their way at home in front of a home crowd. Jake Ottinger is probably going to start for the Stars. Braden Holtby day-to-day with a lower body injury. He's gone 11-5 on the season. I like it. I like the Stars in this spot. I like getting it at plus money at plus 130, 3-way money line. In regulation, give me the Stars.
Love it. So I'm just telling you because you're really good at hockey picks. And so to be fair, I did, when we were talking pre-show, I said, I really like this Oilers 3-way tonight because of just the bounce back factor. And you could tell that they were kind of going through the motions last night against Vegas. So the Blackhawks have been just dreadful. They are a fade the second half of the year. They're one of those teams that has a lot of star talent, but not a lot of depth. And I don't know. I think mentally they're going to be checked out considering they're pretty much done with making the playoffs. Glenn in the chat, any thoughts on Oilers Hawks over 5.5? Yeah, I think the Oilers could score 6 on their own tonight. Remember before the All-Star break, we faded the Blackhawks by betting the Wild 3-way and laying 2.5 goals on the alt puck line. That might be an interesting way to play this too. You want to play alt puck line on the Oilers tonight.
Before yesterday against Vegas, the Oilers were averaging 4.7 goals in their last 3 games. So that's basically the over just themselves.
That's 5 goals
the
right
Blackhawks
there.
are at least going to get 1. So
and I think the safest play in this game is the Oilers to win in regulation. So that's going to be my play of the day. We got to bounce back. We've lost, so we won 4 straight and we lost 2 straight. So now we're kind of in that swing.
But tonight I bounce back.
Bounce back tonight. Also, final point of business. During that little Scal chat, he convinced me to bet the Jakob Hurdle over 2.5 assists at plus 130 on DraftKings.
I'm doing that right now.
Official play. So I have 4 plays tonight. And then actually, crap, I have 7 plays.
You have like 20 plays tonight. Let's be honest.
3 kick picks plays. Then I have Robert Morris, Loyola Chicago. I have the Hurdle over 2.5 assists. And then my play of the day, Oilers on the 3-way.
We were just talking pre-show, and Jared's like, I'm trying to limit my picks because I can't go overboard right now.
Picks don't count.
And then here he is, like betting everything.
Kick picks are like carbs on Sunday. They don't count.
They don't count. It's carbs every day for me. They don't count. Okay. That's it for us today. Find us on the Pickswise YouTube channel. Go to pickswise.com. Follow us on Twitter. Jared Smith, Lauren Jabara. Best of luck tonight, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Jared's headed to LA. Jared, I'll see you in LA. Let's get it. Let's bet it.
Hollywood.